Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I will be creating HSL line Z, which runs between the Helsinki railway station and Lahti, a Finnish city known as the Chicago of Finland. Now I've created the regional railway in this area, and now it's time to create the high-speed regional railway in this area, which will be used by several trains in the future. So stay tuned. Let's see how it goes. And let's see if I have the actual money to create this line here. I am going with a very close-up view here because I will still need to fit in a couple of pairs of tracks in here. So yeah, well, we'll just need a little space here. The reason why I'm creating this now is that there are a couple of express local traffic lines running in the area, or actually there are several ones, and this one is the first one of them. The reason why I'm creating this now is that there is still one bus line left to create in the local network of Helsinki in the 600 series, which sort of goes pretty far northeast of the other lines, and that's why I'm gonna create the most northeastern point of the local traffic lines right now. This video is going to be very quiet. It's going to feature a lot of building and very little babbling. So just get used to it, will you? But I'm going to create a completely new pair of rails from Helsinki here. Oops, that signal went to the wrong place. Oops, that signal went to the wrong place. The beginning is going to take a lot of time. Then when we get outside of the comfort zone of the capital region, then things will advance further. But yeah, slow beginning. Oops. Oops. And this rail corridor is actually pretty narrow because all of the long distance trains from Helsinki are going to depart through this corridor, so it's going to be a pretty tough call. Oops, later on, but let's just be concerned about that later on then. Yeah, so that's that's it. We've gone the first part of the track from Helsinki to Pasila. And then we're going to go the second part of the track from Helsinki to Tikkurila. So let's go. And this track from Pasila to Tikkurila. And this track actually doesn't stop. Although it's the local traffic lane, it only stops next at Tikkurila. So it's a fairly speedy line compared to the city rail, which runs next to it there, right on the right side of it, which you can already see. Okay. There's a train passing. That's very nice. And there will still be a third pair of rails coming next to it, which is long distance rails, but that will come much later on. And this is the Oulunkylä station. Wait a second. Oh yeah, that's correct. I mistook the tram rails for the main rails, but that's my problem then. Now I perhaps can use a bit more space here. Okay, that was too far out. That was far too far out. I will need to use a closer loop on this thing here. But yeah, then we will cross the river. There we go. Let's get back to ground level. There we go. Let's go. Now we're at Pukimäki. Oops, we're once again going too much to the left. Like I said, I will still need to fit in a third pair of rails here. There we go. And there will actually going to be quite a few of quite an amount of lines running on this stretch of track. So, yep, I'm gonna need some space. Then we're just gonna there's a bridge over there, so we're just gonna push it on the bridge through Malmi. There we go, and there we go. And this pair of rails will run all the way through to Kerava. After Tikkurila it will. I'm only at Tapanila. Okay, I've already spent 40 millions. Let's see if I have money for this project, because this is going to be a long track. We're going to go through Tuusula, and then we're actually going to stop after this. It's a pretty erratic. I mean, this is a pretty erratic line which I'm creating at the moment, but it doesn't matter because the local trains really don't run that fast, and this still is a local train track. So I can be erratic. Then let's build a bridge over here above the Vantaa. There we go. Let's go back to the ground. And let's follow this. Okay. Now this is interesting. I have most likely misplaced these rails, but then I will just have to push Tuusula down to 4. Oops, not that close. Down to 4 rail station. Let's see if that would do it. Nope, too close. Nope, too close again. Jesus, I didn't really recall misplacing these rails that badly because, fuck. There we go. No, we don't go there. No, and we don't go there either. I mean, how many times do I have to try to push this through? If we start from there. And then we just push it through to there. That's going to be tough. I think what I actually have to do is I have to do a trick here and place the rails on this side of the station and do sort of a trick transfer here from this side to that side over there, and just hope that this will not cause an issue. Oops. 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 It looks like I'm gonna have to place a lot more trains on this track than I was originally expecting to, but well. Oops, that will happen. Oops. Come on. Oops. 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 Sorry about that. I was really surprised. Oops. I was really surprised by the misplacement that I actually made here. Oops. 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 So I'm on that Puisto line here. Well done. This is going to be a long. It's going to be a longer ride, you know, really. But never mind. You have to do this thing at some point. Okay, auto saving. Oops. I'm sorry about all the oopsies. I mean, might have just had a couple of beers before starting to create this video, so you might excuse me for that. I enjoy my occasional beers, and when I enjoy them, I create videos. And oops, that's when it becomes like this. I was actually celebrating my friend's birthday today before coming home and starting with this project, so yep, crazy as it is. But, and I know I really wouldn't have the need to create these signals, but yet I'm doing that. Because why not? Why not indeed? Oops, and the third line coming next to this one is the intercity line, which will run all the high-speed trains. To different cities in Finland, which will also come up later on at some point. Oops, come on. Can't be that stoned. Don't go there. Oops. And this line will also, or this rail will also be used by the R train, probably D train. So it's not a useless rail or a one-use rail. It will just have to be created right now, and I've been waiting for this line to create because all the lines I've created so far are gonna stop at all the stops coming before this line. Oops. That's another bridge. There we go. So it's going to be a long video. There's going to be a lot of track to create, and also the track I'm creating now will be the local traffic line to Lahti, but it will also be the main track east to the east of Finland. So a lot of responsibilities, but we're already down to Oulonkylä here, so after that it will only be, down to, what's the place called? Käpylä. And after Käpylä, there will be Pasila. So I'm pretty close to the goal right now. You know, you shouldn't start, creating big rail projects drunk as this, but sometimes shit happens. So now we're at Käpylä, and that is pretty close to Pasila, where this shit is gonna end too, because from Tikkurila onwards it's gonna be much simpler. There are only a few stops going that way. Where the fuck? That's in the wrong place. There we go. Oops. 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 So this video could really be named Oops. I'm misplacing these signals at the moment at a very a very high rate. Yeah, so let's see what this what this rail will be all about. I think there might be some surprises in store in the end. But there. So I've gone through to Pasila and all the way through to Tikkurila. And after Tikkurila, the following stop, well, let me just check that, but I think it will be Kerava. So, the strange thing we'll have to do now is once again pull this thing this way side of the railroad, and this is stupid. This is completely my mistake. I have done stupid things when creating this railroad, because the original idea was supposed to be that the slowest railroad is to the right, the second one is to the left, and the quickest one is furthest to the left. But it didn't really work that way because I miscalculated the station. So, yep, let's just ride on. I've also miscalculated that the bridge. Fun enough. That will also need some work to be done later on. And I've also miscalculated this bridge. Very well. Oh, fuck. I have made so many mistakes in creating this line that you don't even believe it. So let's see, I want to get to Kerava with this line. And after Kerava, shit will happen. Okay, so there is the Keherata bridge. That's fine, the bridge is all good. There's also one bridge too short. Another bridge too short. Let's pass Koivukylä in here, and I will be interested to see how I will pass Koivukylä with the high-speed rail. But we'll get to that later on, maybe. We'll pass Rekola. We'll pass that point. We'll pass Hanala. Let's try to pass that bridge in a proper place. All the bridges are too short. I mean, why didn't I figure out that there would be 3 tracks? Well, let's pass Corso. Oops, that one. Oops. That one wouldn't work. There we go. Very well passed. Okay, another too short bridge. Very nice. This thing will cause me just loads and loads of issues because I have not built the railroad properly. But like I said, okay, another too short bridge. This is great. I have been totally unprepared. I've been totally unprepared for pulling the railroad past the capital region. But okay. I can take that. We now only have Savio left here. And that's when we'll get the new stretch of road or track. So that's Savio. And Kerava will come pretty soon. And Kerava will have a platform for this track. Whoops, that one went too far. I will have to have a look at this. And a bridge. And let's see, we should be at the station very shortly. Why don't we turn a bit left? There we go. And the station starts in here. So we should put another platform running in here. Very long platform they are. They are long platforms. And so we've reached Kerava. And once again, the bridge I've built is too short. Well, let's try to add signals to this stretch of railroad. Because it's a fairly long one. Oops. And as you have seen, mistakes can be made. Okay, let's autosave. There we go. Oops. Sorry about it. And it will take an eternity to add these signals here because, well, I want to add them. For some reason that brings me safety. Oops. Sorry about that too. Oops. Sorry about that too. Oops. One escaped far. So now we're down to Savio. Well, we'll have to be a lot more down after that. Oops. Oops. Now we're down to Corso, I think, so we're getting closer to Tikkurila. That's very good. Yeah, we're down to Corso. Oops. Oops. And that's Hanala. the stop which doesn't exist anymore, but which I still decided to create. And the very beginning of this video will be creating the the regional traffic rails, but then we'll get to the business of it pretty shortly. Then we'll have a Rekola over there, and then probably Hiekkaharju, and then after Hiekkaharju it will be just Tikkula. So we're getting closer to it, as I've said already several times. Oops. Yeah, no, it's Koivukylä. So after Koivukylä, we still have Hiekkaharju in there. Alright, we may have to adjust a bit. But that's okay. Oops. 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 And this is now Hiekkaharju, I think. Oops. Sorry, I'm really sorry about this. Yeah, this is Hiekkaharju, and this is very close to Tikkula, so very shortly coming up. The previous stop. Oops. 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 Yeah, and this is the stupid system of building the platform in the wrong place. So yeah, there we go. We've built the thing all the way to Kerava. Now after Kerava, a whole lot will happen. Because once we run north of the station, the north of the Porvoo track, the rails will actually merge. There we go. Then let's move these signals just a bit. There we go. So local traffic lanes will merge after that. And after that, pretty much nothing will happen. But the thing that will happen is that there will be a junction. Well, where will it actually be? It will be in here. Yeah. And I will do it like this. Oops, not that way. I will do it like this at the moment. So there, we have moved on to the new tracks. And then the first stop is called Harajoki, right? And Harajoki is located at a highway junction somewhere in here. Pretty much not of it, it's over here. So the station is located by the parking lot over there. And that's going to be the Harajoki station. This, oopsie daisy, well, that can be fairly long one. Also, the station will be surpassed. I will build the surpassing rails already right now. It's not really that far out, but I just want to do this right now. So the surpassing station of the regional rail is going to be over there. And this corridor will have to fit, oopsie daisy, will have to fit both regional and long distance trains. Thank you. And thank you. There we go. And there we go. So, yep. This is the first deviation to Harajoki on the track. Because long distance trains don't stop at Harajoki. Oops. And now we're really getting to it, because this is the long distance part of the route. Not even sure if I can actually fund this construction, but let's see. Oops. There's always the option of a third loan. Okay, so here we go. The station is over there, and this no station shit is over there, and that is where the high-speed trains, which will come in the future, can pass the local trains. Sorry about that. Oh, and also the station is called Harajoki. There we go. And then, after Harajoki, the following stop will be called Mäntsälä. Oh, sorry about it. I'm actually really drunk at the moment. So the following stop will be at Mäntsälä. And I will have to see where in Mäntsälä that is. Yep, it's gonna be over here. So the Mäntsälä station is gonna be located in here. and the real railroad is gonna just go past it like that. And then we're gonna have the junction to the railroad. That's the way. And then let's just push the high-speed railroad where it's okay. This is gonna be interesting because it's gonna run over here. Yep. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay, so we're on the bridge over there. Great. Great. And this part of railroad was actually built back in 2006 or oh, what the fuck? That's not the way it was supposed to go. Level 1. Go for it. Thank you. Let's go back to ground level. And thank you. Oh fuck. No, that's medium speed. This is not a medium speed railway. Fuck it. So the speed... What the fuck? How did I mess this up? The speed will still be high speed, but the level will be +1. There we go. Let's go back to ground level. Let's just push it through. I mean, it's not that long of a distance. I mean, it is, but this really is a long distance railway. This really is a long distance railway, but what the actual fuck? Oh, yeah. That's where I was going to. So yeah, this is a long distance railway. I mean, but and there we go. Okay, where is this conflict? It's over here. Let's then push a bit further that way. That's it. Conflicts solved. So that was Harajoki, and then we have Mäntsälä. Oops. Oopsie daisy. think we're closing on Mäntsälä actually. Starts to look like civilization, although Mäntsälä is not civilization, I think. No, not in my opinion. And there we go. And after Mäntsälä, we're obviously going to have Henna. Oops, that is a bit too sharp, I think. Well, there we go. Oh, it's not that. No, 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 no. So, that is Mäntsälä. We've come this far. And that's how far we should go. So there is still more than the halfway of it to go. But after Mäntsälä, we will indeed have Henna. And the Henna station. That is located in Orimattila. Where is it? Come on. Come on. Okay, so Henna is located in here. Indeed. Sorry guys, I'm going to have to pour myself a bit more wine because it's gonna be a very, very long video. I mean, we've been down through to 54 minutes and we're still almost halfway through. So this is gonna be a very drunken video. Sorry about that. But now I have red wine and everything is good. So the Henna station then is gonna be located, oopsie daisy, over here. There we go. And we will build the high-speed track past the station. There we go. And then we're gonna connect it with the station itself. So that's where the oopsie daisy signals will be. That is also where the signals will be. And then let's try to build this track from Henna to Mäntsälä, which is of course going to be a hugely, hugely, hugely problematic thing. I mean, there we go. And okay, there we go. Well, it's going to be a pretty expensive track, actually. I think that might cause some issue. Okay, did we go too close? Let's go have a look. We actually did go too close because I'm going to need that highway. I am going to need that highway for bus trips. Sorry about that. Okay, what the fuck? Let's have a look. What the actual fuck? How is this thing gonna function? Yep, it's gonna. Okay, let's just be gentle with this one. This the profile of the track really makes no sense, but let's just be gentle with this one anyway. So what happens here? Stays here, of course, and that is actually it. There we go. So this is turning out to be a really expensive part of track, which will cause me a little bit of trouble in the future. You might soon know why. Oops. Okay, thank you. So we are finally here at Henna. And after Henna, the following stop is going to be Lahti. The funny thing is that there will be some old stops along the way, but I think we can manage to sort of push them aside, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure if you do. And actually, I don't care if you do. So after Henna, the following stop will be in Lahti. Let's actually go down to the railway station in Lahti, which is located on a bridge. You know, this is the platform where this train will stop. So this is what it will be all about. There we go. And then let's go back to ground level and let's try to connect this. I mean, really, there are no other stops between Henna and Lahti. So it's 15 minutes ride from. Okay. No, it's gonna be. Sorry about it, but it's not gonna be that easy. It's gonna go. Oops! What the fuck? So yep, it's gonna go straight there, and then it's gonna go straight there, and then it's gonna go straight there, and then it's goes straight there. And then I will have to add some stations when I will build the old Riihimäki-Lahti railroad. But that will be my worries later on. And there we go. And there we go. Yeah, right. No, stop that. Just let's take this file part again. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. So that's being connected. Okay. Two border or road hits. Let's see where they are. They're over here. Let's move this shit a bit that way. No, that doesn't work. What about that way? Nope. Nope. Well, let's move it that way then. That works. Great. So, oh fuck, I'm gonna waste all of my money on this fucking train line. Because I still need the trains. But yeah, let's go. There's always budget available for something else, so let's just go. Because this is not the only train line I'm gonna have to build in the near future. There are others too. And well, I might have gotten this better if I hadn't messed up with the falling asleep thing a couple of weeks ago, you know, where I just spent 19 days of stalling traffic on this shit, but oops. Okay, come on. Oops. And oops. Now there are several former stations along this route, which I will build later on. But that will be later on. That's oops. Come on. That won't be now. That will be much later on. Oops. Oops. So yeah, we've finally reached Lahti, the city of Jari Litmanen. Actually, what I should do now is to continue this track pretty much straight in here, but I can always build a turning point for it. 125 millions. Well, that's a good one. There we go. We have stops there and there and there. And that's it. That is it. Let's build the blueprints. And then let's get down to the lines. Oh my fucking god, this was the longest line I ever created so far. So let's go down to lines and create HSL line number Z. The code will be set and the basic price will be 3.5 plus 0.1 per kilometer. And then I will add some new stops at the line, but why can I not do it? I mean, what the fuck? There we go. Why can't I add stops to this line? What is the matter with this one? There must be some breakage somewhere in here. So that one's okay. Now what the fuck is happening here? I want to... I have many mistakes somewhere. That must be it. So the track continues. Okay, good. Very good. Still continues. Very good. Okay, come on. So where is the error? The error is not there. It's not even in there. Okay, so let's go back to the lines. And let's just go out there and start line Z in Lahti. Why do we do such a crazy thing here? Because it ends up in there and it starts up in there. And there we go. We go a long way before we stop at it's actually 2.5. Fuck the rules. The following stop will then be at let's see. Well, that's a pretty long distance. Yeah, well, there is an issue with the line, okay. So that's Henna. And that's Mäntsälä. Then we have Harajoki. I mean, something is wrong with this line. And after Harajoki, we will have Kerava. Right. This is not Asemansilta. This is not Asemansilta. What the actual fuck? Wait a second. There is something very badly wrong with this thing now. Right, let's just put it that way. Let's just go. Let's hope for the best. Let's go back to lines. So we're down to Kerava. And then we should be down to Tuusula. That's Malmi. That's not Tuusula. So we're gonna go down to here. Okay, that's still working. It seems that every single line is still working. After Tuusula, we're gonna go back to this express lane here, and then we're gonna stop at Pasila. So there's a glitch somewhere. And the following stop will be here in here. And then we're gonna... Oops, what the hell happened there? So the glitch is somewhere over here, actually. But why can't I mean, there seems to be a glitch somewhere in here. So the glitch is probably... Oh, what the fuck? Everything seems to be working completely perfectly, but there must be a glitch somewhere. There just must be a glitch somewhere. And what if the glitch is in here? What the fuck? The shit runs perfectly towards Pasila. And it runs perfectly through this. So the glitch must then be in these platforms, which are not connected to the Helsinki railway station. Amazing. That was a glitch made by me. That was a glitch made by me. So let's go back to lines, and we will stop here, and we will stop there, and that's it. The line Z will run during weekdays. It will run every... Let's see. Well, it's actually an hourly line. Can't be. What the fuck? I mean, I take this line quite often. Well, it's an hourly line. Okay. I take that. And then we go through trains, and we pick the KU 231. Forget about that shit over there, and we'll clone it. And like I said, it's an hourly line, so we will have to purchase several ones of these in order to make it an hourly line. The Z train has never been operated by SM1, but well, this time it will. And so, what run line 224? Let's buy another one. And 112, and let's buy a third one. Oopsie daisy, no, that's correct. So, there we have it, 48 minutes and that's done. So, rails have been built, trains have been bought, lines have been created, and everything's up and running. And there will be a new video tomorrow. So until then, bye.